BlueCat Quick Service. It is a standalone application to work in tandem with BlueCat Address Manager, or BAM, to allow customers to access key areas of the BAM without having to navigate all the details. Let's jump in. Firstly, we'll look at zones. You'll see right away that on the left-hand side is our search tree window. Here you can change the configuration if you have access to others, or the view. And you can expand the search tree, or you can just use the keyword search to go right to one of your zones. When you select a zone, you'll see some details to the right, including how many hosts and aliases are attached to this zone, and more details at the bottom. For instance, this demo subzone has 12 aliases and 22 hosts, as well as some options and roles. Our main options for those who have read-write access are creating subzones, creating and linking a host name, or creating an alias for this zone. When creating a subzone, you're asked to give some basic information. That's John 3. And add. And you'll see that right away, the side refreshes and my new subzone is right there. Let's try adding a host to this zone. You'll see that it transfers us over to the hosts tab itself and automatically pulls in this subzone that we just created, or whatever subzone you selected, into the left-hand side window. If I were to go back and select one that actually has some hosts, such as this, and switch back, you'll now see that the full list of hosts are selected here. In the host section, you'll see a list of hosts when you search by zone, regardless if you have read-only or read-write. On the side, if you select a host, it will show you any details and options that have been configured. If you have read-write access, you'll also have option to add a host, edit a host, delete a host, or add an alias to this host. Similarly, if I select one and want to edit this host record, I can change things like its name or any of its IPs. And it automatically refreshes the site as well. Adding an alias can be done either from here, from zones, or aliases. When done from a host, you can simply give the alias a name. Demo. And it adds the alias, but you can also see over here that it added an alias. If I switch over to the aliases tab, while this is selected, it will see this brand new alias that I just created. Looking at the aliases tab, when you select an alias, you'll see any details, dependent records, or any other fields that have been configured. As well as if you have read-write, you can add another alias, edit this alias, or delete it. If I change the name, automatically refreshes. If I add an alias, this is similar to how if we did it from the zones, but you can either add by host record or by an alias. Let's say I want to link this alias to another one. I'm going to link a new alias to this one. New John. As well as configure any of the fields here. And now the side refreshes with new aliases, and you'll see that the old alias actually has a dependent record that I just created. If I were to delete this alias, it prompts me that any dependent aliases will also be deleted. And once I click that, both of them are gone. Now let's jump over to the IP space. This space is almost a self-contained area as it deals with IP blocks, ranges, and addresses rather than zones and hosts. Coming into the IP space, you'll still notice some similarities. You can change the configuration or the view. You can search, or you can use the tree. Top level being blocks, then networks, and then ranges. On the side, everybody can see details as well as options and roles if there are any. And those with read-write can edit networks, apply a template, which changes the bottom, add a new range, or manage IP addresses. Let's quickly show edit. This one already has a name. I'm going to rename it, no name 2. And now you can see that that is refreshed, the name. If I apply template, this one already has the template, but if there were other templates on your BAM, you can select a new template and apply it. Adding range, give it a starting IP. And an end IP. And we'll see now that it's also added over here. If we go to manage IP addresses, the whole window will change. And here we can actually see a full list of the IPs as well as information which can be configured. You can also search for it. You can filter. Or you can actually export it as well to either PDF or CSV. If you click on an actual IP address and you have read write, you'll be able to change some settings, internal, external, change name, the state of it, as well as any other options that have been set up. So I'm going to change this to reserved. You can see now that the icon changes to show that this is now reserved. And it also shows up on the list. That concludes our look at BlueCat's new offering, Quick Service. Thank you.